we have 10 people on. This is one of my favorite parts.
You're not supposed to talk until I go, welcome to the SID's View.
Wow. Didn't even make
You guys all imploded. All three at once. All three.
Podcast. That was terrible.
Yeah, that was.
What's up, Keeter?
Remember the first time I came here, y'all had a voice changer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It smells really good down here.
No.
What happened? Did somebody spray some... What happened?
Diego, it was you, guy. It was you.
No, it smells like candle or something.
Well, if you wash your hands, it smells like vanilla.
Oh, vanilla. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Is this a joke? What happened? What is so damn funny?
I don't know.
Honestly don't know what's so
I
funny.
read nothing.
Oh, you snorted.
She
I've
did.
never heard you snort.
Seriously?
Oh, my gosh.
The hell, Remy? Remy, get a hold of yourself.
Dude, what's the
Jesus,
fastest
Remy.
Remy has lost it on the live show? Because I feel
my
like this isn't even
Could
like
be-
top three.
Could be today.
It could be, but I don't know. I feel like this happens every week.
I've never heard her snort. That was the first time I've
Really?
heard her snort.
I think I've snorted in front of you.
That's not a clip you want to isolate anytime soon.
Right? What the hell?
Oh,
Oh, my
Remy.
God.
Don't ever say
She's
that
off.
again.
Remy is literally coming unglued.
Jeremy said she snorted Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's true.
Did I snort?
We'll have clips with you snorting.
Well, you have to clean
I've
my
snorted
glasses
in
now.
front of you before.
What are we talking
That's a
about?
sentence.
What?
There's a lot of one-liners we've said tonight out of context
Yeah.
that would be really, really misinterpreted.
Yep.
Yeah, that happens.
For sure.
Okay.
Still
that
works.
really caught me off guard. I felt like I just went through second puberty.
Oh.
Dude, just second. That was like third and fourth and fifth, too.
When did your voice get deeper, Rob?
When I was like 12.
It took me until I was like 17.
But it was cracking like crazy. I swear, like every 5 words, I would like be up 2 octaves.
Still does.
I
What?
know. You
What?
actually have reached puberty. Your voice is very high.
Are you? Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
It is, though.
No, it is
Right?
not.
Now he's trying to talk low. No, it is not.
Putting some bass in his voice.
No.
Drop the bass, Rob.
I have a wide range. I mean, I could do SpongeBob impression. Then you
Let
know
me
I
hear
have
it.
my.
Let me hear it, honestly.
Welcome to the Krusty Krab.
Good job.
Thank you.
That was actually really good.
It was, too.
Yeah.
Don't
see?
ever do that again.
All right. I'll save it.
Wow. That's a pro.
But that was really good.
guy
you.
of many skills.
Yeah, it's a classic party trick. They loved it in college.
Oh my god.
All right, here we go.
Wow.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Man Cave for our last weekly show of the 2024 season. We actually have stuff to talk about, even though there wasn't much happening here. But never fear, we can't shut the hell up. Diego's in the house. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on the last show. Looking forward to a great one. Let's kick it.
All right, our girl Rem is over here rocking her Blaney apparel, ready to roll.
Am I going to be the one doing this?
Well, I was going to have Blaney come over and do it, but he's still swimming in his own tears, so he couldn't make it.
Yo! It's a beautiful Tuesday. I'm here with my boys. Let's do this.
All right, our man Rob down in the bullpen, fresh off his SpongeBob impersonation.
What up, everybody? It's your boy Rob back at it for one more in-season show. It's going to be sad to not have one for a while, but it's still not as sad as being a Ryan Blaney fan.
Oh, deal.
Digs are just coming in hot.
I had to get one more in, sorry.
Sure you did.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We are excited to have our last weekly show. Make sure if you want to join the fun and join the chat, go to youtube.com/SidsView/join. And we will have not only, excuse me, a lot of pizza we had earlier.
Oh, killed it.
Anyways, not only can you join the live chat and participate in our Who Won the Year segment later on in the show, but you also have bonus content on Thursday if you are a podcast member. And we are thrilled that we have in the Seacon Grand Prix hot seat for a return engagement, the content guru himself from Stafford Speedway, Bonssa Tufa's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Not much. Living the dream. Getting busy with all the off-season content and traveling the shops.
Yeah, right on. They always love when you go to the shops. That is for damn sure. Before we get started, let's thank our friends over at Monaco Ford once again, as they are Results Ticker sponsor, and they have been faithfully through most of our season since we started the ticker. Great to have them aboard, and we have not only some results of the North-South Shootout, but you know what? Give a little love to the champions in Southern New England. So you'll see them scrolling on the bottom of the screen tonight. So where do we want to get started here? I wanted to mention before I forget that we are working on content that we are going to have throughout the season. The live shows are going to stop. We'll talk a bit later on with our What's on Tap segment. We will explain to you what we have in terms of live shows for the off season. But in terms of weekly content, you will still see content every Thursday, including a bonus one for our members with content from all of our guests. We've been basically stockpiling, and we have a ton of videos that all of you guys have not seen yet. Anybody from Dave Arute to Bonssa to Teddy Hodgson, Todd Owen. I believe there's an Anthony Flannery one in there. There is a bunch of content. Derek Luchacki, Andrew Moeller. So a bunch of guys that have given us content that we record before and or after our shows. And we have so much that I think we actually might be able to drop some content on Tuesdays as well. So even though we won't be doing live shows, you're going to get content in terms of videos 2 days a week, and we will still keep up with the daily reels. So they will be content going, even though we're going to take a break from the live shows. So just kind of wanted to give a little bit more details on what's going on. So the Sid's View YouTube channel and our podcast studio will still be cranking out stuff to hopefully entertain you, even though the racing season has somewhat gone dark. And the only event that we had here, well, it wasn't even here, it was down south, was the North-South Shootout. Did you check out any of that racing?
Well, I wanted to, and I listen, it's that whole deal. I was surprised when I got to watch the tri-track. I finally went over and I said, I'm going to pay for $14.99 for the subscription.
Yep.
I'm going to take my chances I could watch the Monaco race. And bam, I could watch it. I'm like, I do like this. I went to go watch it this week. Yeah, we want $39.99. I said,
yeah.
That's
son
usually
of
how
a
it
bitch.
goes.
Here we go.
Was it a
Pay-per-view event.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't watch it. And I didn't feel like, I mean, I guess I could have spent $40, but I was in and out. I had things to do. We had to go to my man Little Hovey's party. And I'm like, I'm just going to scrap it. I'm going to buy a couple alcoholic beverages with that 40 instead.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. All right, well, let's get right into it here. Our girl Rem is ready to go one last time. She wants to bring you the Belltown Motors weekly update.
Okay. North-South Shootout.
It
Right
never
off the rip.
fails.
Off the
Right
freaking
off the
rip.
rip.
Three
come on.
words. Three.
Ready? Do it again.
I'm probably going to screw it up. North-South Shootout winners. Okay.
Can I just say something real quick, Diego?
I'm listening.
So Remy comes early, right? We try to practice things. I don't know how much that helps,
Right.
but she does. And in typical Remy form, I gave her the results, and she says, so do I say North/South Shootout?
Are you kidding me? Who in the world says the slash?
Right.
Remy.
Hit me.
Have you ever in your life thought about saying the slash in anything?
Have you ever?
Well, she did say
Just does sometimes.
she did say truck/SUV
Yeah,
Enduro
I did
last week.
say that.
All right, go ahead, Remy. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
It's okay. Okay. Modified winner was Matt Hirschman.
You sound like a Southerner when you said that.
Sorry.
Modified.
That's all that country music she
Yeah.
listens to.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
It's a mind
Oh,
virus.
could I tell you? Your country singer comes on the other day. I just got to say this. I don't even know the name.
Chelsea
Right?
Ballerini.
Oh,
Yeah.
Chelsea
No,
Ballerina.
there's another one. We're driving down the road. JJ says, "Turn it up." That's Remy's favorite singer. What? Yes.
Oh, Sabrina
Sabrina Carpenter. JJ's like, Dad, don't you know that's Remy's favorite artist?
Oh, my Lord.
Honestly, that kind of vindicates Remy a little
Oh,
bit. It
was
really
so
is popular.
funny. She's like, Dad, turn it up.
Which song do you remember?
I don't even care. I didn't. But it was
Definitely
funny.
probably wasn't any good.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just
Bruh.
cute.
I'm
But
sure it's
anyways.
banging for the 13 and unders.
Yes.
But, you know? Sorry, Remy. Sorry.
All
We're
right,
going to
let's
fight
go.
after the show, but
All
that's okay.
right.
That was accurate.
Just saying, of course, Matt Hirschman ended up winning.
Right.
Seriously.
After how long that race was and all that happened, it's like, go figure.
You know
it's a
what's-
100 lap open modified or 125 lap open modified race. Matt Hirschman comes out on top.
That
Yep.
race has eluded, even though it's named after John Blewett, I don't think Jimmy has won the race yet, has he?
That I don't know.
I don't
can look
think
that up for
he
you.
has.
No, he hasn't. Nope.
Right. The one race that has eluded them that I'm sure he would love to win.
Yeah.
They have it. And then he had his, I mean, she's going to go over his son there too. So
Yeah.
they got
You know
done
who spotted for him?
for,
For Jimmy's kid?
who's that?
Freddie Kraft.
Freddie Kraft did?
Yeah, because Freddie got suspended.
Oh, yeah,
that's
right.
right.
Oh, yeah.
I did see a video. They were like, "What are you doing when now
Yeah.
that you're suspended?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'll come down here." Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So Hirschman is. Let me see here.
How many does he have in that event now?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
10.
7,
They
8,
said
9,
10.
10 in the last 4 in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
That's wild.
And he has won. I'm trying to see here. Okay. Because I knew they had it at Hickory, but Andy Seiss won it that year. So he's won them at both Concord and Caraway.
I feel like Hirschman, we're so used to him winning so much, but the last few years, by June, we're like, oh, he's not winning that much. He's kind of a bit off or whatever. And it never fails. By July, heading to August,
Yep.
he's back to how he always was.
Sure.
Yeah,
The
we
last
fell
few
right into the
years,
trap this year.
It happened in the Monaco
Yep.
Modifieds this year.
Yeah.
Oh, he was
Oh,
falling
it's a
off.
bad season.
And
No,
then
and then off the
he
rip, 5
dominated.
top twos. Yep.
Yeah, so
Everybody
that's
feels
been
like
a theme with them is that
Yeah.
they might struggle a bit, and a struggle is a second place car.
Right.
But
Right.
once we get through the summertime, he's back on it.
Yeah,
It
it's
happens
lights out.
every year.
you think that he's done, you know, and like, all right, everybody's got a shot. You know, guys like Teddy Hodgson and them were ripping off wins. And you're like, oh, and he's leading the points. Then all of a
And
sudden.
Kopchik, too. I was like, oh, it's Kopchik's here.
It's you know, you think, and I'm not saying those guys don't have a shot, but
For sure.
man, he is
Once
just,
Hirschman takes the lead, it's hard for
Seriously.
him
It
to
is.
lose
It's
it.
hard to shut
or
him
when you
down.
know he's on point,
Yeah.
boy, you better be ready to work.
Because look at Seekonk. I mean,
Yeah.
you had, Beers and Kopchik leading for the first half of that event. Once Hirschman found his way up front,
Yeah.
good night. That's
Yeah.
it.
So for being the North-South Shootout, I'm just looking. They had 32 cars. That's a decent.
good field.
That's definitely a good field.
Yeah.
Not really a lot of New Englanders. I mean, the North. You know, there's more to the North than just New England. So I mean, you know, Blewett was there. You know, the Catalana brothers were there, and but in terms of New Englanders, I'm looking here. Brian Roby, right? He's from New Hampshire.
New
Yes.
Hampshire, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he finished 21st.
You bring the 25? Is that what he brought?
That's what he normally runs.
Yeah.
Where did Tyler Catalano finish?
So Tyler finished fourth.
I think he wrecked.
To-
Like in
Tommy
practice.
Tommy and Trevor had bad days. They finished
Yeah, they
27,
did.
28.
I think Tyler wrecked in practice or something and came back to finish fourth.
I saw the highlights. Racing America put highlights on YouTube, and I watched it, and there was just a lot of what you would consider the quote unquote big one. I think I saw like three or four.
Oh,
of them.
really?
Yeah, it was a messy race, man. But I mean, Hirschman was out in front. He started on the pole, so he was out in front. I saw one restart where Carson Lofton gave him a little bit of a challenge for like a lap or two, but then Matt pulled away. So in terms of the battle for the lead, it seemed like he had it handled the whole time.
Was he in the black car, Hirschman, the PD car?
Mm.
Okay, yeah.
Super modified winner was John McKennedy.
Shocker.
Still-
They
still
had 20.
correct.
They had 22 of
Yeah,
them.
they had
that's
a
pretty
lot.
good.
That's a pretty good field for
Especially
those.
down south.
Yeah, usually you're seeing like 10, I
yeah,
feel like.
that's
Yep.
a lot. And of course, McKennedy knows how to get going on those.
Yep.
I used to love this event. You know, I know she's going to continue on, but they used to have it at Concord with the SKs.
That's
Yeah.
a track I wish I went to
Dude,
before
yeah,
they
we
closed
ran
up.
that race, man, and it was like we would even, me and my brother would drive down like and say, oh, let's just head down like Thursday night. We would just get in his girl's car. We would just haul ass down.
Triangle shape, right?
Yeah, like a big dog leg on the back stretch.
Yeah.
So you drive uphill, downhill into a hairpin. And the front stretch was about as wide as this room. Like there's like somebody screwed up, you were done.
Yeah.
But yeah, what an event, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 3 hours long for 125 laps in the mod race
Yes.
down there.
Yeah, that's
Dude,
bad.
I would have tapped out of that.
Yeah.
At a certain point, if I was race control, I would have just we're putting a timer on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they. It's funny that you brought up Concord because I've heard a lot of people say like if they were still there and that track still existed,
Yeah, but they weren't getting any at the end. I think it was dying off, you know.
maybe. But I mean,
Because they're at Caraway now, right?
they're at Caraway now,
Yeah.
and like Keeter says, like Dale Wolbrink and Kyle McGowan came back. They were part of the original team, and so
Yeah.
they're trying to bring back. Listen, 32 mods and 22 supers is pretty good.
That's a great show.
But it just makes me think, like, if Concord still existed and that's where this race was, I wonder if they were successful to bring, even
There-
more guys. Like I'm saying, there wasn't
More
really a lot-
Northerners.
there's not a lot of New Englanders there.
Yeah,
You know what
they
I mean?
used to be a lot of New Englanders
Right.
at that race.
Like we showed that clip of the first race, and it was John Blewett, Jerry Marquis, Teddy, and I think Ed Flemke.
That's what I'm
That was
saying.
the top four. Yeah, so you don't see, Justin's not down there, Ron Silk's not down there. This. So, anyways, despite the fact that it didn't really have a lot of New Englanders, and McKennedy did win the Super Mod race, he's a New
Yeah.
Englander. But that's pretty good that they had between those two races. They had 54 cars. That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
That
Still
is
playing in
great.
iRacing. It's always great.
Okay.
Bowman Gray's Challengers winner is Dylan Ward. And 602 modified winner is also Dylan Ward.
What was the first division?
It says BGS Challengers,
Which one is that?
which we're assuming means Bowman Gray Stadium Challengers.
Yes, I know it's Bowman Gray. I mean, like, what type of car are they?
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't watch that race.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's like a street stock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Yes.
I mean, not. Did any of you guys notice that Paul French cars finished second Or
In-
in the tour race to
The Jake Crum?
Jake Crum? That's
That car's been going good this
yeah,
year.
yeah. That's Paul French. He's into everything and he's
They've
race
been-
directing.
They raced the
track.
smart modifieds full
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
But I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of big cars down there, and listen, French was an SK Light guy dabbling with Graf, and he's always helping Ferrigno, and he's down there with Farino or whatever. But
Thinking the old Incredible Hulk guy.
yeah, I know. But I love Joey too. So sorry, Joey. But anyways, I thought it's a big deal. I mean, because it's a big stage.
Yeah.
For Crum to finish second in Paul French's car that they work out of at their house in Pennsylvania is awesome. So I just wanted to give him a shout out because that's a pretty cool deal.
They've shown good speed in that car this year.
Yeah, they have.
Is your voice
Sorry.
okay?
What the
Yeah, right
hell
over there, Rob.
I-
What's going on?
She's still
I might-
recovering from Phoenix.
I might have lost my voice during the weekend, and I'm still gaining it back. So
Oh,
No, you definitely lost it Saturday.
We'll find out why.
yeah, on
Yep,
Saturday,
we will
I
soon.
don't know what happened. Like my voice was completely gone.
What
So-
were you doing?
Nothing. I talked a lot, maybe too much.
What else is new?
I don't think I talk that much. That's my problem. So I'm like, maybe it's because I talk too much. Like maybe I should shut my mouth. I don't know.
I'll keep my mouth shut on that.
Continue on, man.
Anyway, Jacob Burns is your 2024 Legend Pro National Champion.
Rowdy.
That kid can wheel.
Yep.
Yo, that kid is a shoe.
Legend cars, Fender cars.
It don't matter.
He's
Yeah, he
good.
was in the open street stock race.
Yeah,
at the
and he was in
100.
there like
Yep.
digging
Yep.
too. Like,
He races a late model too sometimes, doesn't he?
all the time.
Yeah.
Weekly at
yeah, he's
Seacock.
good.
Seaconk, yeah.
He's really good there too.
Yeah, that dude can drive.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Vinny Arenagato Jr. is
Is he the state champ?
is the NASCAR Whelen Series Massachusetts state champ.
He didn't win a race this year either.
Mm.
He's really good.
That's
He-
a good point. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I picked him a couple times, and I see him up at Thompson. I'm like, bro, we're gonna get it done this week. You know what I mean? Because the pick'ems have become like that. Like I actually, at first I was dropping names, but then I was like, all right, You're starting to pull away. This is starting to get to be a bunch
Right.
of crap.
We got to get in the business of manipulating some races now. I mean,
I enjoy.
Right.
I enjoy.
Bunch of crap, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you talk a lot on the group chat, and
And I walk the walk as well.
right. Yeah. Whatever.
Colby Lambert is the Northeast Region Division 3 champion,
NASCAR.
And then
So what does that equal though? Like, so there's multiple tiers. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
Division 3 is what? Probably like in our realm.
It would be equivalent to SK Lights.
SK Lights, I think.
I would say.
Well, it depends. I think at Colby Lambert's what? He's in the sportsman.
He's in the
isn't he?
sportsman, but
Yeah.
each division, I'm not sure how that, but it's a big deal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, so each track determines their own what goes in what class.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, Seaconk's totem pole is pro stocks, late models, sportsman trucks.
Yeah.
And then Rick Martin is the NASCAR Northeast Region Division 4 champion.
Damn, Seacon has a clean sweep, huh?
yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's they own the NASCAR sanction with no other tracks in Southern New England have them. So,
Yeah, there's not a ton of them.
yeah.
Right.
That's
So-
amazing, isn't it? I mean, if you just think about that for a minute.
Who is NASCAR sanctioned in New England?
That's what I'm saying. It's everybody used to be.
I
It's
believe
amazing.
Monadnock
Is Monadnock still
I
NASCAR
thought they were.
sanctioned?
I think they were weekly sanctioned.
So
Yeah,
can
I'd
someone
have to look.
explain that? Is that like derivative of like the weekly series? Like, is that like the advanced auto parts, whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Advanced
okay.
Auto Parts.
Yeah, because I heard like Region 3, Region 4, I was like, I've never
Yeah,
really heard
that's
of that.
Advanced Auto Parts.
Okay, that's what I
weekly
thought.
series.
Connecticut native Joey Logano won his third NASCAR Cup Championship this weekend at Phoenix.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And let me tell you something. People will say it's undeserved, but I say he did what he had to do at the right time. You want to give a format to all the drivers where you only got to turn it on one race every round? Joey does it.
Dude, did
And
you
he sandbags the rest of the year?
Did you see what Andy J had put up online this week?
No.
So Andy J puts up, I don't know where he had gotten it from, but he had a lot of comments on it, as if there wasn't that format.
Oh, like it was the old style.
Who do
point
you
system?
think? Who do you think right now was the points
Christopher
winner?
Bell.
Christopher
Christopher
Bell,
Bell,
hands
yeah.
down.
Yep.
Who was second?
Probably Kyle Larson.
Elliott.
Okay, fair.
But you know what?
Larson and Hamlin are third, fourth though, right? And then Reddick.
And Logano was like ninth.
He's like 15th.
But here's
thought
the
it-
thing, like, because of the format, you approach things differently. If
Exactly.
we went back to the old season format, the season-long format that they had before 2004, you'd approach things way different.
For sure.
Even when Jimmy Johnson won
Yeah.
his championships with the first chase format,
Right.
he was okay the first 26 races, but then he got hot in the chase, that 10-race stretch, and that's what mattered.
Right, him and Chad would always turn it on the
Yeah.
chase
Yeah.
every time.
Yeah.
So
That's just
I don't
the
blame
system.
him. He just played the game and he won the game.
Don't
But-
hate the player, hate the game.
Exactly. But we do have a little Stern bomb here. You know about Adam Stern?
Yeah.
I'm sure you do.
Yes.
He dropped a little article a few minutes ago saying NASCAR to review playoff format following blowback.
Oh, really? They're
Mm-hmm.
actually going to review it?
That's what Adam Stern said.
Oh, we'll see if anything comes out of that.
That's the most that they have said on that topic. So I'm
I-
interested to see where that goes.
The winner-take-all deal
I'm not about
doesn't do it for me. I'd rather them do 3 races in the final round and the most points in that 3 races, like race 3 different tracks, and whoever has the most points in that 3-race round wins the championship. Something like that. Like, depending on one race at the end, I just don't see the benefit of it, especially now with all the manipulation that's happened this
Yeah.
year
Right,
and all
right.
that stuff. Like,
yeah.
Or you can just get rid of the chase altogether
Right.
because it's stupid.
Dude, I'm still just a fan of. They always
that's
say
never going to happen.
I know it's not,
right,
but it's
but like they always say it's to add drama and excitement for the fans. But every series and division that we have covered this year on this podcast has been full season points, pretty much, besides the Seaconk ones, and they had plenty of drama. I mean, a lot of those came down to the wire still anyway.
I got a question for you guys. Do you think short track racing, at least in our area, has suffered because they're not NASCAR sanctioned after multiple years now?
Look at Stafford.
Well, Stafford is on another planet.
True.
I don't see Thompson and Waterford being negatively affected by not having the sanction.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure, because it was such a big deal for state championships and national championships for so long.
Well, I think Keith Rocco is what made it a big deal because he
Or-
was chasing that.
Or Ted Christopher back in 01.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I just said we seen Keith this weekend and we were reminiscing about those years.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know what's funny, Keith, because he's got his own rental deal going now, obviously with KRR. And we'd go down south for Brody and race. I don't know if you remember, Keith was battling with Lee Pulliam back then for national championships. And it was back and forth, and Keith would banter the hell out of him, and it was awful. But Lee Pulliam, who is relatively a young guy, is down there doing the same thing Keith is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got rental deals.
Oh, really?
And taking names and kicking butt with big known drivers. I'm not saying Keith's there yet, but it's funny how those guys, they do the same thing and they don't even really know each other.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world between up there and
yeah,
down
but
there.
you know, Keith is renting cars, good fast cars. Lee Pulliam's doing it at a different level. It's how it's when it's in your blood. I know that's a little off from the NASCAR sanctioning, but I didn't know if you guys thought it had made a difference in weekly racing around here.
I personally don't think so.
Yeah.
And I think that, and we'll get off topic here, but
Yeah.
I think, you know, Stafford choosing to not, to not continue the partnership with them, in itself proves that it's only limited in what it brings to you. And I also think, this is me just being a media guy, that NASCAR misses the boat on their whole media rights thing, which to them was very good for a long time. You do the NASCAR sanction in the small print. It basically says we own all the footage filmed at your track.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Stafford left.
Yeah,
Right?
and then like they
made the most
in
of
the
it.
80s up to the 2000s, that didn't really matter. But
Right.
in today's day and age, I don't
Yeah.
blame any tracks to say, go pound sand, dude. You don't own that stuff. That's our content.
That's
Like,
the
it's
thing.
too valuable now.
Times have changed.
Right.
And sometimes NASCAR takes too long to adapt to those changes.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. Yep. All right. So listen, let's go to the old, in the old days, they say the videotape, but Bonssa brought us some great footage here. So they had a little party over at Stafford where they were watching the championship fold out. And that's, if we haven't said so explicitly already, Rob is a huge Logano fan. And Remy is a huge Ryan Blaney fan. And as Blaney was trying to reel in Logano, who was leading the race, we have some of this going on. This is Bonssa filming with his
Rob
phone.
and Remy are so quiet right now. It's a complete 180 from what just happened not even 3 minutes ago.
That's Rob's girl nervously.
I know.
knocking-
She's stressed too. You can see Remy.
Blaney's not afraid to just ship it. That's the thing. Neither is Logano.
No, I don't
Oh,
think
yeah.
you would wreck a teammate. That's my problem.
Yes, I
you
bet
need
you
to
would.
fucking move Joey.
Remy with that block.
Remy! My
Get
God.
excited.
Oh, Logano left the bottom open. Logano cannot leave the bottom open like that.
Joey's just gonna clean his ass out.
My man Jason there.
Oh, Blaney went top.
Great camera placement by you here, Bonssa.
I know this is masterful.
We get the race in the background.
Yep. That's Remy holding hands with Heather there.
Remy's losing her mind.
I know.
Oh,
The
he chipped it
stress
in
was
there.
real.
She's moaning.
Holding each, Heather, you're not gonna have any circulation in your hands. Oh, that's what Blaney needs. That's what Blaney needs. He needs that bottom to be open.
Listen to Bonssa. Play by play.
I know, it's awesome. It's awesome, dude.
Egging it on.
Right?
She's crying.
I'm not crying.
Are you sure?
Heather's talking to you.
Yeah,
off the
Heather
ledge.
has, she would differ.
My heart feels like it's pounding out of my chest.
Regardless of who wins, Team Penske going 3 straight years with the Twins.
Yes, unless they take each other out. Yeah. Blaney's losing some ground though.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, that's a wrap.
Wow. Wow.
How was the ride home, Rem?
Very quiet because I was like, what did I just do? But like after it, I was like, all right, I'm okay with it. Like
No, you're not.
No, you're
Yeah,
not.
I
No, you're
am.
not. Keep coping.
Because like I saw the post-race interview and like it took a lot out of him, so I know he gave it his all. If he just walked out and was like, "Yeah, what's up?" Like,
You know what's
I would have been
great?
pissed.
It's great that there is still super fans like her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Kyle Rickey said that to me earlier today.
Yo,
he
like,
said we need more fans like
That's
that.
what I'm saying. She is just like a super fan, and he is too.
Yep.
We
I can't
need
deny.
more fans like that, just not in the same room as me.
Right, right.
Oh man.
No, they're passionate.
Yeah, you guys were born like 20 years too late. Because
Oh,
back in
gosh.
like the Earnhardt era, I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
were all like that. You said something about Earnhardt at a campsite
Yeah,
tailgating.
Fighting words.
You was ready to fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Back in like 97, 98 when Gordon was dominating,
Oh.
anytime he wrecked, you look at the stands, everyone's cheering.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It was
mad.
like that well into the 2000s with Gordon, though.
That's
Yeah.
true. And to a degree, Kyle Busch.
Yep.
Man, I miss them. I miss them NASCAR days.
Yeah, like that's missing in NASCAR.
It
is like
really is.
those drivers that people either love so much or hate. Like Logano's kind of in that realm,
Yep.
but it's not like what it was 25, 30 years ago.
Right.
I mean, it's just a little too sanitized. You know, you don't have like the big personalities. It's a lot of corporate.
A lot of the big personalities are the older veterans that are retiring.
Right.
Right.
Like when we lose Kyle Busch, that will be a huge loss. Even Kurt too was.
Or losing Kevin,
Yep. That's true.
yeah.
Tony.
So, Corshane sent me this article that he'd written when he was at the Hartford Courant. This is from October of 1997. So this is just the first couple sentences. The timeline is simple in the mind of 7-year-old Joey Logano of Middletown. Finish up with the quarter midgets and head south to drive a Winston Cup car. He's sure he can do it. He said Logano said his favorite driver is Jeff Gordon, but he's got a message for the 95 Cup champion. He will be Gordon's worst nightmare. So at 7
Wow.
years old.
Not too far off.
Yeah, that almost happened, right?
Right? 7 years old. He is super confident.
Yeah.
Well,
more so Matt Kenseth. But
Jeff Gordon, he was young when he first started in Cup, right?
Yeah.
Well, Logano
he was what,
went
18?
a step further. He got in
Right.
the Cup when he was 18. Like
Right.
he came in early, which is
Yeah.
why he kind of struggled early on. But look at him now.
He's
3-time
na-
Cup
he's
champion,
nasty.
20 plus
He is.
wins.
Dude.
He's a listen. I will always maintain that they used the nickname, and I get Harvick this a lot, but they use the nickname the closer a little too early. Because
know
when
what-
it comes
do you
to
know-
championships, that man's the closer.
You know what Logano's nickname was when he first got into the national scene?
Sliced bread.
Sliced bread.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think he won in Xfinity in his third start
Yeah.
in Kentucky.
Yeah,
Like
he
correct.
won the. It wasn't called Busch North anymore, but whatever it was called.
Yeah.
K&N
As-
East.
As a rookie, he won the championship.
Yep.
yeah. So it took him some time, but I'd say he lived
Listen-
up to all the hype.
Oh, he
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
he
doubt.
has. Yep. All right, Ram. What else?
Hold on, real quick. Did anybody see Ty Gibbs wreck this week?
Yeah.
Oh my
That was
Lord!
big.
I was
Did
screaming.
you see it, Sid?
No.
Oh my dude, he hit. I'm thinking to myself, I'm not sure he's gonna get out of the car.
He
No,
hit
for real.
hard.
You couldn't
Dude.
possibly hit harder on that track.
I was like, oh my God. I could
Yeah.
I mean, I watched that. I was like, what happened? I'm like, watch Gibbs hit. This is unbelievably hard right now.
I've never seen him lose. Like I've never seen somebody lose it in the dog leg like that. Like
Well, he hit
just
the
Did
wall.
something
He hit the-
break? Did
no.
something break?
He hit the wall coming off of 4.
Right.
Yeah.
And then suddenly that car fishtailed on the dog leg and he just overcorrected and went in the wall at about the worst angle.
Yeah,
possible.
pancaked it.
He just corrected back to the right a bit, like right side door.
That had a lot of Emma Monahan's wreck all over it.
Wow.
Damn, dude.
You're really going to do that to your daughter
my
like
kid.
that?
I was like,
Wow.
oh, that hurt. Damn.
Yeah, Scott's saying he broke the toe link. That's exactly
Oh, he
what it
broke
looks
the
like.
toe
Yeah,
link? Okay,
yeah,
that
that's
makes
what
sense.
I figured.
Yep.
Yeah, he hit a ton.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
He's
So-
going to be a car owner next year.
Who's that?
Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. They hand him the reins of the Xfinity team.
Yeah.
And,
That'll be interesting.
Well, I don't know if Remy has this in her notes, but I thought this was real interesting this week. Corey Himes coming back for another year. And there was a lot of hate and discontent in the post because,
I want him to move up.
everybody does. Like,
Yeah.
he's next level, I think, driver. And I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if it was because, and only because you brought up Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, I heard there was some behind-the-scenes disagreement. I don't know how
Right.
valid that is, but that's what I heard.
And that deal was supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
lined up, I think, but I don't know. Keeter probably has some really good info on it, but
Right.
it's shocking to me that a lot of those good drivers just stay in the trucks and not, like
I
Chris-
like that though. I like
you-
having truck lifers because that was the identity of the truck series
Yeah.
a decade and a half ago with the Mike Skinners and
Yeah.
Ron Hornadays,
Right.
Yeah, they were great.
Todd
Sauter.
Bodines. Like, yeah, they all were truck
But-
lifers, and that gave that series an identity. Now
Right.
it's younger people who are only there for a couple of years and they move on. Plus, I feel like the truck racing the last couple of years has not been that great
Right.
because it's all young people, and it just seems like there's not as much respect.
Yeah, that championship
Out
race
there.
last year was.
Well, that was
ugh.
exceptionally bad.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Christian Eccles is from around here.
Christian who?
Eccles or whatever his name is.
Eckes.
Eccles, Eckes.
Who the heck is Christian Freckles?
Freckles. Christian Freckles Eccles.
Eccles.
But
Wow.
Eckes.
Yes.
But he is, I know he didn't do quite a good job the week before. Was it Martinsville?
Yeah, he upset a lot of people that
Yeah,
night.
and he was getting booed at Victory Lane, and I'm like, oh man, he probably feels like crap right now.
I mean,
That's
they-
good to get booed.
Oh,
To
yeah.
I
me,
agree.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
getting a reaction.
But he's an up and comer. That kid, he's down there helping Walnuts. I was down there last year at the Speedbowl, and he's like setting Walnuts' sway bar and tire pressure before he goes out. I'm like, that's so cool.
I mean,
And
that dude had a heck of a year this year in the trucks.
He's-
The fact that he didn't win the championship with that
Heck
format.
of a last couple years.
Yeah, he's been stout.
He's been real stout. So, all right.
David Gravel, who is also a Connecticut native, won his first World of Outlaws championship.
That's a big one. That's
You
a
almost
big
said
one.
Canadian.
No,
Yeah, I thought
did.
Canadian. I was like, I don't know. I don't
Creating
recall that
compound
being
words
true.
over here.
I'm sorry.
Good for Gravel, though. That's
Yeah.
a big one.
Yep.
That's huge.
I don't watch that series a lot, but when I do, he's the guy for me.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Connecticut natives getting it done.
Yes,
I
sir.
like it.
Yep.
Love to see it.
Longtime modified racing team owner and crew chief Billy Bear
Colicchio.
Colicchio.
Colicchio passed away last Wednesday. He was 62 years old.
It's just adds on to the list of all the big
I know,
modified
man.
names
Yeah.
that
Tough
we've lost
year.
lately. Yeah.
It's weird because I just saw him at Seekonk, which was
They had a
like,
good run too.
like 3 or 4 days earlier.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
run. They had a good run.
That dude will bust your rear end to no end once he starts to like you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's
He'll
kind
be
of how you
brutal to
knew he did like you.
Yeah.
Right.
If he would bust your chops, you know.
He'd always be like, "Hey, when are you going to interview me and put me on camera?" I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, hold on, that bear.
Yeah.
hold
Right.
on, that. I know you well, way too well. We're going to need a lot of filtering."
He would say
Right.
that to me too, right? I'd say nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, that's
No.
a tough one.
Yeah, no, he was a good guy, staple around. I mean, whenever.
It's sad, and we were just talking about the 14 car
Yeah.
recently.
Yeah,
and
because Moeller's been driving that car.
Well,
lately, too.
to me, back Dennis Gaeta drove the car. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some beers. There's so many guys. Robbie Summers as of late.
Mike Christopher Sr. used to drive for Bear.
Yeah, there's been so many.
And Teddy.
The car, to me, the bear paw print,
Yep.
and I said this to Sid the other day, the bear paw and the hot pink and white 14,
Legendary.
legendary in my mind coming up as a kid and loving modified racing. So, I was real happy recently. Summers had a good run with that thing earlier in the year, led half the race. And Andrew had
At Waterford?
Yes.
Yeah.
Andrew, I found this out recently. Andrew ran really good at the Speedbowl. You remember that with the car? And then it fell off, broken panhard bar mount during the
Oh,
race.
That'll do it.
Right? Ran really strong.
Yeah. He led
And-
a lot of laps.
He led a lot of laps right
Yeah.
up front. And it looked like he fell off, but he was falling off hard. The panhard bar mount had broken, I guess. And then the last race, they really showed up for the tri-track race. There's some big names there. Andrew didn't have a lot of laps at Seekonk.
Yeah.
For them to go in there with not a lot of experience as a team together spoke volumes. So, I mean, he went out doing what he loved to do. He was at the race shop, I
Yep.
think, when all this happened. He went out doing what he loved to do. I don't think there's anybody that loved modified racing, whether he's helping out John Rafano and Marcello
Yep.
Rafano. He is all over the map and always wanted to help somebody go fast. So it's a great loss for the modified community.
He missed some time this year because he had a health issue mid-season, and he was, as soon as he could get back to the track, he got back to help out Marcello at Stafford. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So Fran just brought something up in the chat, which I totally forgot about. But
Yeah.
back in the days of Gary Danko's old Speedway Line Report radio show,
Yep.
And Fran and I, Shane, we used to go in there do spots in there all the time. And Bear was like his in-studio sidekick almost every show.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And Bear would always be unfiltered and throw
Lord.
people under the bus.
Oh, yeah.
Hated the NASCAR rules and had a problem with this. And he was very unfiltered.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds about right for him.
Yeah. So he was like, it was, I forgot about that. He was like the in-studio sidekick for
He
Gary
calls it the
Danko.
Bear Facts.
That's right.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, rest in peace, Bear.
The NASCAR Hall of Famer, 1983 Cup champion, and 3-time Daytona 500 winner, Bobby Allison passed away at 86 years old.
So, fun fact, Bobby Allison was my favorite driver when I was a kid. And then he retired after the wicked wreck. They won the 88 Daytona 500 over his son, Davey, and then had the wicked wreck at Pocono?
Yeah.
And then he basically retired after that. And I never really had a favorite driver since then. The Cup, like
Really?
yeah. I mean, I didn't hyperventilate. Like,
Did you like him because of the car?
So funny thing is, I have just really vague memories of I went to, I'm sure it was Speed Weeks, and I went to the '82 Daytona 500, and that was the first car I saw on the track. And I remember we were in the infield. It had to have been
22 car.
Yeah, it would have been during practice or something. And car went by.
That was a Miller Light car, was that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
Miller
red
Hi-
and white.
Miller
right?
Highlight.
Red
Yeah.
and white with chrome
Yeah.
wheels.
Yep.
And I just
Very
thought,
nice looking.
Car looked good.
Yeah, right. I was like, "Wow, that's a cool looking car. Maybe
Yeah.
that guy will be my favorite driver."
Yeah, that's cool.
And I kind of just, I was young. I was less than 10 years old, so
Yeah.
you're impressionable then. But yeah, and so I never really hooked on to anybody else after that. I've always rooted kind of for the modified guys, but they've had very, very little success at that level. So never replaced him as my favorite driver. So he's still kind of always been my favorite driver.
Yeah, they just awarded him his
That
85th
win.
win.
Yeah,
Didn't Bobby do like a special match race or something at Thompson in Old Blue
I think so.
way back in like the late
With
70s?
Ron Bouchard, I think. No,
I
it was
think-
in the 80s.
Was it in the 80s?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
I
he
think it
came
was
to
with
Thompson,
Bouchard.
did like a match race or something like that in
Yeah.
Old Blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he did a photo shoot with Bobby Santos at Stafford.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that on Facebook yesterday, I think it was. They did a photo shoot with Bobby Allison and Bobby Santos III back when Santos was driving the Mystic Missile. So,
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, he survived tragedy. He lost 2 sons to auto racing, and him and his wife divorced. Over the tragedy, and then got back together.
and the wreck at Pocono almost killed Bobby.
Right. I
Right.
mean, he survived some crazy ones. The one at Talladega basically
the fence.
started restrictor plate racing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yep, crazy
Alabama
career.
gang.
Yep, legendary
Sure
driver
is,
though for
man.
sure.
And then my last news of the day. Monaco Modified Tri-Track Series has released their 2025 schedule.
All right, let's have a little look-see here, Rems. You want to throw that one up there? So it is, let me drop the old ticker here for a second. So it is very similar to this year with the addition of 2 Wednesday races, which is that second race at Thompson and then the July race at Stafford, which is basically the Modified Masters,
Yep.
basically replacing an open show.
It's the Modified Masters, yeah.
And so all the same tracks. Star and the Speedbowl kind of flipped. I believe this year the Speedbowl race was early August. Star race was early September. And other than that, it's the same. Listen, the Haunted Hundred's October 25th, so Gluchaki is out of the woods there.
Not if it rains.
But if there's a rain out,
Oh,
he's in trouble.
yeah.
He's I said the same thing. My wife's like, "What are you talking about?" Or, "Oh no, I was with hubby today."
Yeah.
I'm like, "God, Gluchaki's getting married the first week in November."
Yeah.
I'm like, "That falls that very next weekend."
Yep. So listen, all the best to them. Hopefully it doesn't rain, or he has a great season and clinches it in
For
time.
real.
Yeah.
Right,
For
And he
real.
doesn't have to worry about it. So
That's exciting for the Monaco Modifieds, though. 10 races.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
biggest
what-
schedule they've ever
That's
had.
what. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say it's an aggressive schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they didn't add any more tracks.
right.
Right.
But they added a couple dates to each
So
track.
what was there 8 this year then?
There was
There's
8.
8 this
Eight,
year.
yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I think it's a smart move. Like, you know that the cars are going to show up to the tracks.
Dude,
If you can work it out, why not double down on some of those dates? I mean, they were good events.
It's such a long ways away. honestly, this is just me from when it started. Like I think there was only 3 races, right?
Yeah.
3 tracks at least.
3
yeah.
tracks when it originally started. It pretty much is its own series now, right? I mean, you know,
Yeah.
like it's like the MRS.
Right.
Now it is. I mean, 10 turns to 12, or,
Right.
you know, until, you know, it's an aggressive schedule. I don't know if that's going to help or hurt. I'm not sure because of the cost of racing. I don't know. I'm sure Matty
Yeah.
Hirschman will be making the trip, every one of them.
What's interesting is like the tour used to be known as the regional series that only went to Connecticut, right? They went 4 times to Stafford or even 5 times to Thompson and had a couple at Waterford. And now Monaco Modifieds, 10 races, 6 of them
Yeah.
are in Connecticut.
Right.
5.
5.
Yeah.
Oh, it was only 1 Waterford date?
Only one at Waterford.
Okay, so 5, so half of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Connecticut races are always so good for the Monaco Modifieds because you have the regulars
Oh, yeah.
outside
Always.
of Connecticut, but you
Yep.
also have the local track regulars that come in as well,
Yeah.
which is why we saw those big fields. But you still have your share of races up in Vermont, up in New Hampshire that will help those drivers have a chance to race against Modified's best. I'm excited for it. It's a big change going up to 10 races, but look, Renee and Ed, they've been doing this a long time. So
Oh, they're on it, man.
with them,
Yeah.
John Holland and them, like they
I also like that the Thompson second race is a Wednesday, so that to me is hopefully going to be another midweek show where they have a legit anchor event and they can hopefully pull in a decent crowd.
right.
You know, because I
Yeah.
think that's what Thompson suffers with is when they don't have a big anchor event on those shows.
Right.
You know,
For
right.
sure.
Yeah, so at least they're gonna have another one.
Listen, it's a great series.
Yeah.
It really is a great series, you know, and I've talked to Emma before about it. I said, man, I'd love, if at anything, if we could end up there one day, you know, and go do a little of that kind of racing and
Right.
travel around.
Yeah.
It's such a great
Yeah.
series.
I mean, we've
I'd
talked
love
about this endlessly. I mean, it's hard to obviously
Yeah.
match the prestige of the NASCAR brand,
Right.
but I would definitely argue that the racing in Monaco has matched, if not surpassed,
Yeah.
the mod tour.
I've enjoyed even the Seekonk race, man. I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed watching that race. Yeah, great job for those guys.
now so Tri-Trac's first Thompson race was this year, and I thought that was a phenomenal show, and I thought that was a huge shot for them to show how they can be so competitive at Thompson because there was an unknown with how Thompson races and seeing how many cars are out there, but I
Right.
think now with 2 shows, that's going to be a huge plus
Yeah.
for Thompson.
And it's
So-
it's a shame that race got rained out initially because
Yeah.
the energy when we first went the first time at Thompson was just insane. I mean, the garage was absolutely
So is the
packed.
tour there during the Icebreaker weekend with the
I
Tri-Track?
think tour is there
So,
for
so
Icebreaker.
Yeah.
is that what's
Yeah.
happened? The Tri-Track and the tour run together that weekend?
Yeah, I'm
Oh, that'd be
guessing
great.
one's
Yeah.
going to be one day and then
Saturday,
Oh,
Sunday.
those
Yeah.
are great events because a lot of those guys double dip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
get them all
it's-
there.
I'm
Yeah.
just curious to see how many modified events we're going to have next year overall because we talked about this year how many modified races there
Yeah,
were.
and it was like kind of diluting the quality of some of them a little bit.
I mean, it got pretty saturated. So,
Yeah.
I mean, Stafford cut down on their open mod races for 2025, but now you got 2 more Monaco modified races. Like, what's going to happen with MRS? Like, how many modified races are there going to be, and is there going to be any conflicts because of it? That's
Yeah.
my only
You
slight
know what
concern.
the great thing about Stafford is, you know, we can sit on this podcast and we can say what we want because we're just here talking. And we can talk however we want to talk. They always seem to do a really good job with just keeping up with if the open races are getting diluted. I'm just saying they shorten them down because they may realize that. Or let's do something, you know, and Dave was here, it was great because he's like, well, let's try this.
Yeah.
Let's do this. You know, they're always willing to do what's
Yeah,
best.
they don't rest on their laurels.
They
I think,
don't.
Right.
It's awesome. And
Yeah.
so we consider and say, hey, listen, and you know, Dave said, you know, he listens to the podcast and it may bother him when we talk about it, but you know, it's a realization of what's happening because there's so many damn open races.
Yeah.
When you're only running Stafford and you're getting just the local guys
Right.
and a few stragglers in, all of a sudden it's not how precious it used to be. And so they've made changes, which I think is awesome for the track.
And that midweek concept, I think, can work for Monaco mods because look at Seekonk's Open Wheel Wednesday.
Right.
Yeah.
I know they had a huge purse for that event, but they had a lot of cars. And then our Modified Masters, it was an open mod event, but we had I think 25,
Yeah, yeah.
26 come,
Yep.
but we rained out that week.
Right.
But we had a good field of cars for that one too, and I think the Monaco Modifieds will help bring in even more.
It's going to be a good event.
I hope
excited.
so, man. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to be a test run. We'll see what happens. And
Do you think there's any way that I could be able to get some credentials for that race?
I told you, dude. When you want to start running the camera, doing some
Diego.
work.
Wait, Bonssa!
No, you got to show up.
Right.
You don't even show up.
I was
Just
about to
walk
say,
around
how
the
many
pit.
did you actually go to?
A 0.
I'm there in heart, man. I watch them all. I follow race monitor. You know.
Yeah, you're there in heart and I'm there in spirit. Yep.
Yes.
mhm.
All right, Rems. Thanks as always. Appreciate it. It's time once again for another edition of the popular Waddell Communications Nostalgia Nugget of the week.
Come on.
No good? Come on. All right, listen, I'm a week late on this, but I was like, you know what? I missed this, but I'm going to bring it up anyways because last week, to the day, was the anniversary of the Fred DeSaro Memorial Race. And what made that unique event memorable, it was originally intended to be a benefit race to help with the cost of medical bills because when the time that they created it, Fred DeSaro remained hospitalized for the injuries he had during a practice event on October 8th. However, in the time between when they announced the event and it actually occurred, Fred passed away on November 1st, and the event was then sort of modified from a benefit race to a memorial race. All the proceeds from this event went to the DeSaro family. All the Thompson employees that day worked for free. The concessions all donated $1,000. The racers raced for free. The purse was donated, and it all went to the DeSaro family. To this day, it is widely considered to be the most attended race in the history of Thompson Speedway's oval track, with an estimated 10,000 people in attendance. Bruce Gomer Taylor, who was a protege of the Bowler team who DeSaro drove for and was at the scene of the wreck after it happened, won the B main that day, considers it one of the greatest wins of his career. And Bugsy Stevens, who was also a longtime friend of Freddie and was also at the scene, had this unique incident where he was to start on the pole and they did the missing man formation. And so, as a matter of fact, I figured I would play a little clip here from the DeSaro doc about this scenario here and kind of let the people that interviewed for that doc tell the story here.
I'll meet it.
Thank you.
Pole in that race was left open and Bugsy was on the outside pole.
Something happened to the car, and he didn't crash. Something broke.
Bugsy was on the pole. I remember they were getting a 3, and the left front just took a turn and moved, dropped down.
Bugsy pulled around and pulled into the pits, and he had broken a ball joint.
Right front ball joint broke or something on the right front. Boom.
He was out of it, and that was kind of ominous.
Now you stop and think. Bugsy had been practicing with Freddie on the day of Freddie's crash. They're super tight as friends, and at almost the same spot on the backstretch where it became evident that Freddie wasn't going to make the third corner. Here we are weeks later in his memorial race, and Bugsy's car fails at the same spot, and you could not get out of your head just the mystery involved in that.
Bugsy saw it almost as some kind of strange spiritual event.
And Bugsy got out of the car, and I guess he was crying like a baby. He says, Freddie's trying to give me a message.
That was enough to make you really wonder, is there somebody up there looking at me or what? I can't explain it. The Lord must have done something.
So it's one of those things when Bugsy, you know, when you interview...
I believe in that stuff, too.
So do I. And Bonssa, I know that you know this. When you're interviewing people sometimes and they say something, you immediately know, like, oh, that's amazing. And when Bugsy... I had heard this story about how his car crapped out before the race started. And, of course, if they start the race and he craps out, he creates a whole melee. Who knows if people get hurt, cars get the whole deal. And so I was hoping that, you know, what Bugsy gave me was going to be compelling. And as you saw there, it certainly was. So I have a couple pictures here that I also want to kind of share. First of all, the crowd. Here's a shot of the crowd. This is actually one of the pictures I saw that first gave me the idea to do the Fred DeSaro doc. That's a picture from, obviously, Thompson with all the people that went to the and I remember seeing that picture and thinking, man, that must have been some event, and Freddie must have been some kind of guy for that kind of outpouring to go there. And here's a picture of Gomer Taylor when he won that race, the B main. That is Jeff Bodine. So it's like a run what you brung kind of race. That's Jeff Bodine in the Dick Armstrong 1, and Richie Evans in his famous 61. They both had wings on their car. And similar to, we've seen this many times before, but I believe this was the first time where the cars, Bodine was leading, and when they came around turns 3 and 4, they pulled off the track. And then Brooksy still waved the checkered flag, like Freddie had won. And, of course, they did that for
With
Teddy.
Teddy, yeah.
And so it's something that has been emulated, but I believe that's the first time, at least in the local scene, it's happened. And then there's a very poignant picture of Bugsy, and this is with Fred DeSaro's 2 sons. That's Gary with the dark hair and Brian with the blonde hair. And you can tell that Bugsy's kind of holding back tears, very emotional. There was everybody that was in the race gathered around afterwards. Very similar to when we had the race that Keith won, the first race after Teddy died, and that whole outpouring for Keith in Victory Lane, and that it was very similar when I was there for that. Matter of fact, that was the one and only time I went to Stafford. That was that season, and I was like, I have to go to this race, and it just felt like something was pulling me to go there. And what I knew about this event, it was very kind of similar-ish.
And they also did the missing man formation for that race, too.
Exactly.
They left the pole spot open in honor of Ted.
Yeah. So that was November 5th, 1978. So that was the anniversary. It was last week's show. And there's just so much stuff in the archives, Diego. Sometimes it's hard to get it all done in a timely manner, but we got to it.
That's my man with the nostalgia nugget.
All right, so let's go down to the bullpen. Our man Rob's ready. Flagman Graphs has got us this week for the Popcorn Stat Chat. Oh my God. Damn it. I couldn't do the last one smooth. Son of a bitch. Right. Pick me up, Rob. Come on.
All right. We're going to have a little bit of a rapid fire sort of stat chat here. I have the most questions I've ever had, so.
All right.
All of the questions are sort of general purpose. They refer to the entire year and every track that we've covered. So Seekonk, Thompson, Waterford, Stafford.
General purpose.
This is not going to be rapid fire.
No?
Go ahead.
Let's find out. Most improved driver of the season over last season.
Are we just going round robin?
Yeah.
I'm going Norm Root.
Yep.
The third.
You know who I'm picking?
Who are you picking?
Nick Hovey.
Nick Hovey's a good one.
I didn't even think about that. That's good. I have him for a different category that we'll get to.
I'd say I'm going to keep in more Stafford focus because that's what I know best.
Right.
Josh Morrison, SK Lights.
Oh, yeah.
28th in points last year, 11th in points this year, and won. I think he's one of the most improved drivers in Connecticut.
I'm probably going to say Norm Root as well.
Who you got, Rem?
I was going to go Norm Root.
All right.
Wow.
Although I got to give a shout to Robert Blacksom.
Yeah. He was good this year.
Especially towards the end. He turned up the wick.
Norm Root's a really good one, though, with how he was in the second half of the year. Golly.
He's deserving of it.
All right. Next one. I wrote best closer, but what I'm really asking you is who had the best second half of the season compared to their best first half?
I think this is no argument. Adam Gray.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even think about him. Oh, that dude showed
Horrible
up.
first half of the year. Junked the car week 1. Blew up week 2. Didn't even start some races. Had a mechanical issue a couple times. Came back in June and dominated the second half of the year. Won 6 times in just one half of the season. I think it's Adam Gray.
I got a few here. Austin Long is one of them.
That's what I was going to say.
Dare I say Matt Hirschman?
Yeah.
He definitely turned it up.
I'm going with Mike Christopher Jr.
Oh, yeah.
He really turned up the wick at the end of the year when he needed to.
Yeah.
And, his second half of his season was almost reminiscent of back in
18.
He was that good, but maybe even better.
I think this was his best year yet.
Yeah. He really turned it up the second half of the season, especially at Stafford in that division. Guys will go on a 2-week 3-week run we seen, he didn't. He kept it going all the way to the end. So I'm gonna say him.
I think that was the most fun. I'm like Michael's generally a very chill and positive dude. I don't think I've ever seen him have so much fun like he did in the second half of this year. He was having a blast.
Yeah, I thought he was great second half.
Yeah, I thought Hirschman hands down, but I totally forgot about Adam Gray.
Right.
Dude,
He
Adam
tore it
Gray,
up.
he put a can of whoop ass on people.
Yep.
Woo! He's half my pick 'em wins. Thank you, Adam.
For real. Him and Haidar are up there.
He's going to be scary next year. Haidar was good all year.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say he was struggling more second half of the year
definitely
because he
better
had more
towards the beginning.
DNFs.
Yeah.
I didn't put biggest fall off, but I don't know. Maybe he'd be a contender. I don't know. Sorry
I
for
don't know. I
watching
think the
Haidar.
biggest fall off is Robert
Rep-
Hahn. No,
Oh,
I'm kidding.
shut the hell up, bro. No, I don't want to hear any of that.
Just kidding.
Yeah,
We
we're
didn't
going to
hear
have to
out
meet
of
at Applebee's.
Remy,
Mike
what,
Harmon.
what was yours,
Okay.
Remy?
I said Austin Long.
Austin Long. It's a good pick. Austin turned it up for sure.
All right, next topic. Villain of the year.
Oh, God.
A lot of candidates.
There is
To me, the choice is clear.
Who's that?
And it's Nick Hovey.
Yes,
Wow,
I agree.
that's great.
I would have said Anglaise, but Anglaise actually kept it pretty chill
Yeah.
after the whole Meg Fuller deal.
Right.
I think throughout the season, I'd probably say Hovey.
What about Tyler Chapman in the truck?
Tyler Chapman or Beal?
Yeah, that's
why it's hard
I
to
don't
pick
know.
a villain in that because I feel like they were
Yeah.
both just
Yeah.
collectively
I
going
mean,
at
though,
it.
they were both bad boys for a while. I'm gonna go off on and say something. This is just me, and I don't know how it's perceived at Thompson, but I'm gonna say Devin Jensick.
why.
Is that the kid in the 23?
Yeah, the limited. Yeah,
Right.
I watch him every week.
You said Thompson, though. You
yeah.
talking
Why'd you
Stafford?
say Thompson? You
I meant Stafford. I meant
Yeah.
Stafford.
The hell
So-
are you
sorry.
talking about?
Sorry, but I watch.
I never understood why. What makes you think Devin is the
Well,
villain?
Well, because he's very aggressive, and he's in a lot of quarter panels all the way through the field. If you're in front of him for longer than a lap or two, at least when I'm watching, it's coming. And so I don't know how the rest of the field feels about that, but that's just me as a racer when
Yeah.
I watch on Flow every week. And I've picked him 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, oh, here it comes again. Boom, and it happens again. And I'm sure there's a lot of pissed off guys in the pit area talking afterwards. But that was, if I'm not going to pick Tyler Chapman because I love his father.
You don't want to get in trouble?
Well, I kill them all the time. And Tyler, I think, he was trying to be a good boy. And
I think Nick gets it because he had beef with 3 different drivers.
Yeah,
and
Nick
3
didn't
different
get,
tracks.
Nick didn't
I
make
think
too many
Nick
friends.
runs perfect.
Well, Diego, your standards of perfect driving are a little skewed. Just a little skewed.
I mean, he had beef with Tyler Chapman at Thompson, with Alex Pearl at Stafford, and Zach at the Speedbowl. That's
incredible.
That's pretty cool. That's
Reminds me a
incredible.
lot of somebody else.
Oh,
Sean Monahan.
yeah, and that's exactly what I was about to get at, Diego. That's why you're for it. That's
I mean,
why.
it's great
That's why.
entertainment.
Nick is fast.
Oh, yeah.
And he's aggressive. But yes, he also didn't make too many friends this year. So that's why I feel
Well,
like
I don't
he'd have
listen.
the
I'm going to
award.
say this, not because I love Nick, but Teddy was the same way,
You're right.
same exact way,
Right.
man. You get pissed off at him all the time, but you just had to respect his game.
Right, no,
Yeah.
and I'm not
Damn
saying
it.
I'm not about it. I'm just
No,
saying
no, it's-
he's definitely a heel type
yeah.
figure in the grand scheme of this.
Oh, this is going to be
going-
great.
right.
This is going to be
Wrestling.
great at
Right.
work tomorrow.
Right.
This is going to be a great day at work. Yes.
All right. Oh, okay. We're on to the next one. Soundbite of the year.
Oh, there's a few.
I got my pick already, but if anyone wants to go first,
All right, I have 2.
go for it.
Cassandra Cole when she couldn't stop saying the S word.
Yes.
And then Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, Huffy's in chat. He's gonna love all this.
Ooh, the Winnie the Pooh one's a good one.
Winnie the Pooh, hands down, is it not?
Winnie the Pooh. But he embraced it, too.
I know
did.
he wore.
He did.
The guy he called Winnie the Pooh wore a Winnie the Pooh T-shirt.
He embraced
How do you
it.
top that?
Now I was gonna put in one for Rich Hammond's victory lane celebration. I mean
That's pretty good.
those are just top notch.
That's in the discussion.
Definitely.
All
Definitely.
right. So this is just biased towards me. Speaking of Rich, I interviewed him before the 30 lapper.
Oh,
And-
who's your daddy?
Yeah, so the year, can you stop spoiling it?
Sorry.
Rob.
So the year
Read
before,
the room, guy.
the year before, Hammond was battling for the win in the 30 lapper, and he and Jensic wrecked. So this year, I asked him, "All right, is it going to be redemption for you?" And his response simply was, "Who's your daddy?" So I announced that night in the booth. He wins the race, and he goes in victory lane, "Hey, Bonza, who's your daddy?" I had a couple people text me like, WTF? What is he talking about? Because there
That's what I
was
was thinking,
no
yeah.
context whatsoever to that phrase. And I thought it was hilarious. So that personally is my favorite.
And his interviews are epic every time.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait. I mean, Rich Hammond's an old Waterford boy, but that dude was enthusiastic on every single good podium run.
Oh,
Right,
okay.
Rob?
Yep. Next, finish of the year. What do you got?
Ooh.
Now there's a lot.
Oh,
There's a
and
lot.
this encompasses Stafford, Thompson, Waterford, and Seekonk?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Bavalaco and Garside. The
The-
photo finish.
The mini socks had
That's
a
what
couple
I
of
had.
good
Mini
photo
socks had
That's
finishes.
what I wrote. Bavalaco and Garside
Well,
was
yeah, but how's that better than Bavalaco and Canfield?
because Bavalaco won the first one.
No, he did.
He should have won the championship. He won the first one.
Can I name a couple?
Sure.
SK Lights, Matthews, and Chapman side by side for the last 3 laps the
Oh,
night
yes.
that Chapman clinched the title.
That was a great
Photo
one.
finish at the line.
That was a great one.
And then the penultimate late model race when Meyer moved Adam up the
That's
track.
what I had.
And then Butler got under both of them, took the lead, and then Meyer and Butler were side by side. Butler slides up the track. Adam gets back under both of them and takes the lead back on the last lap to win. He went first to third to first in a lap.
And he got me a pickup win, so I have a good connotation of that finish forever.
I think I think I'm with you on that one. That was an amazing last few laps of a race.
Yep.
Just
The
nonstop
late model
action.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That division put on some great racing this year.
Yeah.
All the way through the field, man. Like Meyer coming through and then Gray.
Verrecchio.
I enjoyed the hell out of them races this year.
Yep. I also have a mention for the there was a photo finish between Beal and Chapman in the trucks in July of this year. That was just great.
Yep. I remember
And
that.
I swear every time they're crossing the line side by side, they're wrecking after the checkered. Every single time. I was looking through like some of the Speedbowl history videos trying to find it. And I was like, I saw 3 or 4 different clips where they were basically banging doors after the checkered.
Yeah.
So, I admire how spiteful that got, truly. One for the fans.
One outside of Stafford I'll mention is Rocco and Owen at Thompson World Series, the 604 race.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, that got swept under the rug
that
a
was
little
also
bit.
very well.
That
Yep.
one,
That was a
that
good
one, the crowd reaction sold it for me because, look, I'm not in the crowd at Stafford, but when that happened, the crowd went berserk.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the crowd that animated outside of Stafford in a while.
Yeah.
Like, they went insane for that. Like, that was old school rivalry type of finish.
Yep.
So,
How about Paradise and Hammond getting together in the limited
jeez.
race? You remember that? And they called it back?
How can I forget? Yes.
That was a great one, too.
That one was exciting. It was just, it sucks when there's penalties afterwards. Like, the same thing with Anglace and Fuller. Anglace and Fuller had a phenomenal battle to the finish. They were side by side for the last 5 laps, and the way it ended was just so unfortunate.
Yeah.
That was a great race to watch.
Yeah,
though,
I
as a
still
fan.
love that race.
I was like
regardless.
holding my breath in the garage watching, like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great race.
Some of the early SK races this year at Stafford had phenomenal finishes.
Yeah.
All right. We got 2 more.
All right, let's
These
go.
are both pretty podcast centric. What would you say is the best hot seat moment?
I know what mine is.
I think I know what it is too.
Todd Owens staring into oblivion.
That's my pick. That's my easy pick. 100%.
He had no clue what was going on. That was amazing.
Bonza, feel free to throw back to that if you want for the segment.
Oh, so just do nothing? Simple for me.
We had Woody. Woody almost fainted when Diego picked him.
Oh, that was good too.
For the MRS race. That was pretty good.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I think it's Todd Owen.
Yeah, I liked Moeller giving you guys some shit for not knowing what a blowover was too. I didn't even make the air, but that was a good behind the scenes one for me.
Yeah.
I do it.
Wow, you know it's something when Diego's speechless.
Yeah, yeah, don't try to
Don't try to argue with him.
Try to understand Gen Zers.
I don't even understand it. I can't. Man.
And finally, the last Stat Shack topic of the season.
Go.
What word did you enjoy watching Remy try to pronounce the most?
I'll save mine for last.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot to pick from here. There's a lot of names.
A lot of blah.
I mean, I definitely lost my noodle when I saw her frenetically break down Gluchaki's name. I was on the verge of tears. But I think I'm going to pick the water bowl.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And it was just me and her here beforehand.
Now, my favorite one was actually the Prim Races.
Prim Races.
Because, I mean, we managed to shorten a 5-syllable word down to 1 syllable. I mean, that is only Remy.
She was so confident when she was talking to, like,
the Prim
like
Races.
the Prim Races. And it's like, what the hell are you saying? Prim Races.
Oh, my God.
I mean, we can't disrespect the.
Am I going to be the one?
I was going to say that.
Well, if it was most iconic, that would easily be the pick.
Yeah.
Diego, do you have one?
I don't.
If
There's so many of them. I mean, I don't even know. I forget half of them. It's a weekly.
I like Hedges, too.
Yeah, Hedges was perplexing. Like, how do you not know how to say that?
Yeah, I guess I'd have to say Seaconks.
Yeah, Seaconks also good.
My favorite, Jankowiak.
That's right. That was a good one,
Jawaki?
too. Yeah.
Oh, my God, I forgot.
Yeah.
That was so
Jawaki.
early in the
That was
season.
when you were here last time,
Did
right?
say Jawaki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was Chewbacca's cousin in Star Wars.
Oh, I forgot all about that. Andy Jawaki.
Yeah, because she said Andy J. I'm like, say the full name. She's like, no. And Sid's like, oh, it's just us. Don't worry. We won't judge. Read it. And then she said that.
That's rude.
But, I mean, not even we could have predicted that it would be like that.
No, she was like, hold my beer. I can really screw this one up. Jankowiak. Jawaki.
Too funny.
Dude, Remy's been great, though.
No, I know.
She been a surprise this year. It's been a lot of fun.
She's a surprise? Y'all did not know her then.
I didn't know either one of these guys. Sid meets us in the basement. He's like, here's
Sid meets us
Here's
in the
Rob.
basement. That's weird.
Here's Remy. I'm like, yo, Fro.
Yeah, we found this like weird girl that works at Stafford and this guy who's like unhealthily obsessed with Cup. I don't know what to like do with him, but this is what we got.
All I could see was Afro when Rob walked in.
Oh yeah, you did start that nickname that has now become pretty
more
infamous.
people call you Rob or Fro than Rob.
I know.
Good.
I feel like I'm one of 2 who calls you Rob. Or one of 3. The other 2 are your parents.
Dude, even Jeremy starts calling me Fro recently. I'm like, Jesus,
That's great.
it's taken over every facet.
All right, my man. Well done.
Yes, sir.
On a fabulous season of the old Popcorn Stat Chat. It's time to get. I got a good one here now. Little Glenn Bloss Racing Did You Know segment. Here we go. All right, so we were talking about the late, great Bobby Allison. Now, I think Bonssa probably knows this because he knows history. But did you know that Bobby Allison, among his many accolades as a racer, was a 2-time NASCAR modified national champion? Diego's face.
No clue.
So in the 60s, New Englanders had a stronghold on the NASCAR Modified Championship. Bobby Cahan, who was from New Hampshire, won it in 1966. Bugsy Stevens, who was from Mass, won it 3 straight years, 67, 68, 69, driving the Bowler 3. And then Fred DeSaro from Rhode Island won it in 1970, driving the Casella Woodchopper Special. But in the 2 years prior to that, 1964, 65, Bobby Allison, part of the Alabama gang, Hueytown, Alabama, was a back-to-back NASCAR modified champion. Yeah. So I went online. I tried to find a picture. I don't know if this is from his championship years. There was not much. You can go ahead and throw it up there, Em. But this is Bobby Allison in a 312. That looks kind of like a coach kind of style there.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't have any info on where that is or what track or anything, but Yeah,
a lot of Southerners raced modifieds.
yeah. It
back
was
in that time
definitely
period.
it was definitely a true national championship. Yeah, back in the day. Yeah. And so it went Bobby Allison for 2 years, New Englanders for 5 years, and then it went Jerry Cook or Richie Evans for 15 years and then into the tour era. Yeah, so it was a good 20-year stretch there. It was kind of easy to remember. But the modified championships goes back to prior to the Cup Series.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all those times when they say it is the oldest division, and that's why they've been crowning champions the longest. So this brings us to the time where I think I may be more excited than the rest of them, but it's time that
I'm excited.
We are going to crown the weekly Pick'ems champion.
I hope I didn't finish in the cellar.
And so as we go into, let's set the stage here if I could.
Oh, God.
We doubled up the points for the championship picks. We did half of them last week. We're going to do the other half this week. So when we throw it to the old title screen here, our Critical Science Weekly Pick'ems, it's going to land on where we left off, so we can see the scoreboard before we get to the final two.
Oh my God!
Here we go. Alrighty.
Oh,
so
God,
this
Diego.
is so pitiful.
Diego, may the best man win.
Remy snuck out of the basement, got herself a little bit of a buffer here, and Rob and Diego have just been battling it out for most of the season here. They successfully got in front of Remy, but now let's go to, we're going to go to Thompson and see where that gets us. You ready?
No.
Thompson champions, and boom.
Oh, my God. No way. No way.
So Sid gets 3. Rob gets 3. Remy gets 1 to stay ahead of Diego, who is now in last by himself.
Oh my God. What are you looking at?
Al Stone.
A loser.
Al
This
Stone
is terrible,
fooled us
isn't
all.
it? Oh.
Al Stone fooled us all when that dominant first race win, because we did pick these after the icebreaker, if I'm not mistaken. Remy pulled a Diego and picked Troy Talman to win the 604s at Thompson when he didn't really run there.
Well, he was
He ran
supposed
the first
to.
week and he blew up the second race.
Yeah.
And then Mikulski, was he running there?
I don't even know.
What division?
Mini stocks.
At Thompson?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Dude,
so.
I cannot believe how well things turned out for me at Thompson this year. I mean, I remember thinking that this was just a complete shot in the dark, especially with the Sudokus. Like,
all right, so let's wrap it up. Are you ready? So I'm going to tell you this.
This is disturbing.
I did not redo a graphic here with 7 because the Speedbowl has 7 divisions. So I'm just going to go ahead and say nobody picked Brad Strickland in the trucks, and none of us picked PJ Evans in the legend cars.
okay.
All right. So we only have 5 divisions to go. And for the final tally.
Come on, baby. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes.
Bam! What's up, Sydney?
What? Remy passed me.
Stepped on all their throats and said, I'm just going to hammer it down. I almost broke 50.
Wow.
Diego, you are just awful. How'd that Macrino pick work out for you?
Dude.
Wow.
If you split that graphic in half and just use the left half, that pretty much sums up the year.
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
Now, how about this, though? Canfield and Babalako go to a tiebreaker for the championship, and only Sydney was on the right side of the tiebreaker.
Damn, Diego, you suck.
Wow.
Sydney, man. That's a nice pull right there. 5 straight, right in your face.
Wow.
That's pretty damn good. I'm proud of you.
So, listen.
Don't be.
Not last, baby. Not last.
I've been a pick'em whiz for a while here.
Wow.
Going back to the old Jeff Pearl site, they had a pick'ems. I won that one year. My man Corshane knows that we had a little Let's Talk Racing thing with Matt Buckler.
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I won that one as well. But listen, we'll do it all again next year. I had a lot of fun. Big thanks to Chassis Pro, RacedayCT.com, and Critical Science for sponsoring that segment. We had a lot of fun with it. And, I mean...
You know what you got to do? You got to tally the Sid's View pick'ems on race day at Waterford next year.
Yeah. The Sid's View pick'ems they get kind of sloppy sometimes, sponsor, right? Because sometimes like we're busy.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't get them in time or like we're waiting for somebody. If if you're doing the victory lanes,
Yeah.
right, or you're shooting them coming out on the track, or Mason goes to victory lane, we're waiting on him, and sometimes these guys are working on in cars. They have their radio off for a minute, whatever.
Diego, do you wish we had the playoff pick'ems now?
Let's keep the show going.
All right, I got another little doozy for you coming up here. Let me see if I'm all set for this here first.
Rob
what
is
the
just
what's the
dying
matter
in the
with you?
background.
I'm sorry. I'm just ecstatic that I did not get last place. Absolutely.
That's
You
not
are
amazing.
too. Look how pumped you are, like a little freaking kid.
I know. man.
I'm
That's
so
not
happy.
something to be proud of.
Switch to him.
I am thrilled
Look at yourself.
that I did not get last.
You're happier than
Look
when
at you.
You're happier than when you bear hugged George Bissett.
Yo,
at
look
Thompson
at you.
Garage.
I don't know about that. That's a stretch. That's quite the stretch.
Stop smiling.
I don't know. It's gonna be a while before I stop.
All right, I guess I owe you guys a drink next week.
Yes,
Hell yeah,
indeed
you do.
All right.
All right, let's do it here. Time once again. Riley Generator's been a solid supporter of the Pop Culture Minute. Good job, Riley. All right. Weren't we talking about Stroke a Race, Burt Reynolds movie?
Yes.
Yeah, with the
last week?
chicken pit car.
Yep.
Yeah. So that got me on thinking here. So those were big movies back in the day. Those Burt Reynolds movies, they were directed by a guy named Hal Needham. Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run, Stroker Ace. I think Hooper was one of them.
All good movies.
Okay. So
I loved them.
Needham and Reynolds, they were synonymous with those car chase type movies. And so loyal was Reynolds to Needham that Burt turned down roles in Oscar-winning movies to make more sequels with those numerous car chasing movies. I think Terms of Endearment was one of them. Anyways, interestingly enough, did you know that Hal Needham was a legit NASCAR Cup Series owner for Harry Gant's Skull Bandit 33?
What the hell?
Yes.
From
No way.
1981
Yes.
to
Well, I had no-
1988, Needham was the official car owner, and Burt Reynolds the unofficial one, to his famous Skull Bandit 33 car. They won races at Martinsville, Charlotte, Darlington, Rockingham, Dover, North Wilkesboro, and Pocono. They had top five finishes in the championship, including a runner-up finish to Terry Labonte in 1984.
Dude, no way. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
That is
I
cool.
forgot
That's
about
So
that.
crazy.
I Googled the little Harry Gant, and you put this picture up.
Oh, look at that old Skull
And right
Bandit.
above,
Great
right-
looking car.
Right above Skull, it
Dude.
says Burt and Hal's.
Wow.
Yeah, wild. Huh?
It was
I
hiding in
forgot.
plain sight the whole time.
I
One
mean,
of the
that-
best looking cars ever.
That's
by
an
the way.
iconic car. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
and I never knew that. Yep. Interestingly enough.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a doozy.
Yeah, it's one of the best ones, I think.
I got to
culture.
tell you, the Pop Culture Minute has been the segment that I struggle with the most sometimes, and I still have a couple in the bank. That
Yeah,
I'm
you've
saving.
done good though this year
No,
with
it's
them.
it. Yeah, that was a
There's
good
times
one.
when I'm like, what the hell am I going to do for a Pop Culture Minute? And then you brought up Stroker Ace, and I just said, you know what? Maybe there's something there. Let me have a look-see. And I found something. So,
Now, I just want to bring it back for a second to Diego saying these are all great movies.
yeah.
I mean,
Have you even seen any of them?
I've seen all of the ones that were
Ball.
just named.
You've seen Smokey and the
Yes,
Bandit?
that's the best one out of those bunch.
They're all good movies.
Now, Stroker Ace, I do like, but it kind of sucks.
Dude, when I was a kid, I loved all those movies. Right? What the hell?
Oh, we lost Sid.
Oh my God.
They're all good movies, but they kind of suck. No. All right.
I don't think so.
They're guilty pleasures.
No,
we'll
for
leave
sure,
it at that.
for sure.
We'll leave it at that. Okay, let's settle back in. All right, so listen. Let me wipe the tears out of my eyes.
Thank you. Look it.
Yeah.
Franny's with me.
Oh yeah, like Fran knows good movies.
Oh, Fran.
That's fighting words right
You
there.
see, here we go.
Holy.
All right, so listen, we're very excited to show you what's on tap. You could say, what do you mean, what is on tap? Well, listen, this is our last weekly live show, and we will be coming back to do the weekly grind in the beginning of March. Well, 3 of us will be. But anyways, there's 4 of us. There's 4 shows that we have that we are going to do live shows during the off season. And so that is what is going to be our. Where is it? Damn it, Remy. Here it
I'm
is.
not helping you after that one.
What's on tap? Pour me a root beer, Flo. Let's go. All right, so December 17th, in about a month, we're going to have a Christmas special. We're going to do more superlatives like Rob had in his stat chat, and a couple other things. We'll go over this the iSlip 300. There'll be the Turkey Derby by then. We'll go over some. And then we just have an absolutely star-studded lineup of in-studio guests for our January
the
shows.
podcast has made it. Look at them.
Yeah, look at that lineup.
Woo! The premier race director in New England, and also somebody who has a absolutely tremendous knowledge of the history of the sport. Scott Tapley will be joining us the first Tuesday of the year, followed by the legendary Ben Dodge. And for you young Gen Zers who may only know him as an announcer at Stafford, he has a long career here as a promoter of the sport.
That felt strangely targeted.
As a broadcaster, he was doing content creation well before the rest of us even knew that was a term.
Way ahead of his time.
Yeah, unbelievable. And then 4-time and defending NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour champ Justin Bonsignor will be taking the ferry ride over later on in the month and joining us in studio as well. So we are super excited to have 4 shows that we are going to come back into the man cave and entertain you sometime here in the off season.
And 3 different perspectives for those 3 guests.
Yeah,
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be sick.
They're going to be great shows.
Definitely
yeah.
excited that we were able to, like you said.
3 great talkers at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Rob and I actually went to the we took the ferry ride to Long Island and interviewed Justin for the Stefanik doc. And I am actually, now that the grind of the podcast is over, I'm going to be getting into that. We did Justin. I interviewed Robbie Summers over the weekend. I'm interviewing Corshane on Thursday. Still got to interview Skip Wilcox and Julie Stefanik. I hope to get Chris Auer. And there's 1 or 2 more, Ed Marceau. And there's, I think, 1 or 2 more I'm trying to pull off before I can finish that. And hopefully we'll be releasing that and talking about it sometime during those January shows. So excited to keep things going. So we're going to mix it up here with the last segment.
Justin was great. I did have the displeasure of eating an absolutely revolting foot-long hot dog from Sonic.
Dude, we went there, and he ordered this chili dog from Sonic, and it came, no joke, dude. It looked like diarrhea in a bottle. And he ordered 2 of them.
Where's the thing? They said, oh, it's buy one, get one on the Cody. So I said, all right, give me 2. If the first one's good, I'll eat the second one. The first one was not good.
It wasn't?
Did you see the freaking picture?
How do you eat 2 footlongs?
I would have been able to do it if they were good. I ate half that freaking large pizza that came in earlier today.
Yeah, hold on. Here, let's keep talking because I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get this going.
Dude, listen. When I see that picture, I was like, "Oh my god!" It looked like somebody shit in a hot dog.
It's that bad?
Oh yes, dude. It sounds he ate the whole thing.
No, listen, Bonssa.
So you thought it looked horrible, and you ate the whole thing.
You know what, like those middle school cafeteria hamburgers look like when they got like the bubbles and.
Yes.
Think
right,
that,
Remy,
but across
so let's show the
a whole
audience.
hot
Go
dog.
ahead, show it. Show the audience. Look at that thing.
Wow, that's horrible.
How disgusting is that?
That's a chili dog?
Yeah.
When Sid sent the picture, he's like, "Yo, check this thing out."
I said it to him. We go right on the ferry. Rob's like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Somebody took that foot-long bread, put it behind them, and just completely took a dump on it.
And you know what the worst part is? Not only does it look atrociously awful, there was 0 flavor. I was like, listen, they got this much whatever processed garbage on here. It better at least taste, a little something.
That's some trifling looking food.
Did you eat the whole thing?
Yes, I did.
Did you eat the second one?
No, I threw it away.
He was smart enough not to eat the second one, so yeah.
That's funny.
Look, when it's hard to stop Rob when it comes to eating.
He does like food.
Yeah.
Oh, at Stafford, he eats the popcorn all the time.
Yeah, like to the point where it became a joke. I would literally walk up to the popcorn stand and I would see them behind the counter and I would go like this. And they would bring me a popcorn.
That's funny.
Every time we go on a shoot or somewhere, Dunkin' is essential. I have to have my cold brew. And I always tell these guys, get whatever you want, which for Rob means, okay, let me get some foo-foo drink he gets.
Right.
Then he's got to get a sandwich on a croissant. He's just
Guy orders like $32 worth of stuff.
he's a human vacuum. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll take a donut. I want a sandwich.
Rob is one of those people where you cannot say you can have whatever you want. He will take that to
Oh,
heart.
for sure. I mean, you see our McDonald's order.
Oh, that's great.
We don't even need to get into that. We don't. But if you really want to know, sometimes I do be ordering like 6 McChickens.
I do be ordering. He says I do be ordering.
I do be.
I can't talk about
right,
Rob's
fair enough.
digestive
I
system
have
anymore.
many words to say.
All right, live chat. Let's get ready here. We're mixing it up now. We're going to do Who Won the Year. Is how we're going to do it. Busy Bee Learning Center's big thanks to Christina and all her support over the entire
Been awesome.
podcast season. It's been a great supporter of ours. So let's do it up one last time here. Who won the year?
Who are you? Who are you?
Nice.
Oh, wow. That was slick.
Like a boss.
Yeah, for real.
All right, I jotted down a few here. We obviously can definitely add to it. I put Hirschman, 9th Monaco modified title in 11 years, plus his 4th straight North-South Shootout win. Andrew Moeller for winning the SK Modified Championship at Stafford. Jason Palmer for his 5th late model championship, 9th overall, and tying Phil Rondo on the career Speedbowl wins list. Justin Bonsignor for his 4th modified tour title on the NASCAR modified tour title, passing Reggie Ruggiero for 2nd on the all-time list and turning heads in the Xfinity race that he won. And Tyler Chapman for dominating the SK Light division at both Thompson and Stafford Speedway. What else you guys got?
I got my pick. I'm going to say Tyler Chapman.
Yeah.
SK Light.
He
won just about everything he got.
He was impressive.
He won a lot of races this year.
I'll also go Tyler Chapman.
Bonsa, what are you thinking?
Southern New England, Tyler Chapman, SK Lights. Northern New England, Brandon Gray, Flying Tigers.
Yep. Yeah.
He was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I would agree. Same exact thing.
Dominated.
Yeah, Brandon Gray dominated too. Tapley kept us informed every week, and then you couldn't help but to look.
Right.
So, that guy totally dominated, so.
Oh, Bryson Robideau's in the chat. That's a good one, too. The Robideau brothers, they had pretty impressive.
Oh, they sure did.
Yep, over at Seacon. Yeah,
They sure did.
Wait, so I'm confused, Bonza. Who's your pick?
It's tough because they're both super dominant, but
I agree.
I think I have to go Tyler Chapman, the SK Lights.
Yeah.
10 races at Stafford and then, 6 at Thompson? 7? Plus, the 10 wins at Stafford ties a single season record in that division, and he's tying the all-time win record with Matthews.
Yeah.
And he won the championship.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah,
Didn't really have
and he
really
never-
have a bad night.
He
except
never
one.
Yeah, never held back. Always went all in every race. Fun to watch him race.
And half the 3/4 of the time, he'd be starting 14th, 15th, still found his way to the front.
Yep.
What are you thinking, Rob?
I'm putting one in for the high roller, honestly. I mean, he was competitive, very competitive
I'm
in the
surprised-
SKs at Waterford and Stafford.
I'm surprised there's not more people
I know.
saying
I mean,
that,
to me,
honestly.
that was almost a very obvious pick.
Yeah.
I'm going with Justin, I think.
You can't do
Bonsignor?
that.
Why?
Well, I guess you can do whatever you want.
Dude.
It's his show.
Yeah.
4 NASCAR titles, passes Reggie.
Yeah.
Did we all forget what he did in the Xfinity race?
Yeah, true story.
I mean, he had an amazing season.
And the way he ended the year.
Yeah, strong.
I mean, he ended really strong. If Silk didn't have such a rough second half to the year, he could have been up there too.
Yeah.
There's so many people that have won the year.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, all those people you could. I mean, all these people have been great. The podcast, Stafford. I mean, you could go on who won the year. It was a great year for racing in general.
What'd you say, Rem? You went with Tyler?
Yeah.
All right. Rob, what do you got, bro?
I have a tally, and I have a clear winner.
Ooh, okay.
Receiving 1 vote for the year.
Yeah.
Andrew Bowler, the Sid's View podcast as a whole.
Hey, all right. Giddy up.
Sid.
Ooh, all right.
The Robideau brothers. Okay, those have won. With 2 votes, we have Matt Hirschman, Justin Bonsignor, Remy,
What?
Brandon Gray,
I like that.
and Stafford.
Oh, Stafford's a good one.
And the decisive winner of this year is SK Light Tyler Chapman.
Yeah.
With 6 votes.
He was pretty dominant, man, for sure.
Hard to deny.
All right, everybody, listen. Woo! I can't believe that it's the weekly grind is over.
Right.
A year ago today, I was down here trying to figure out how I was going to make this studio because these 3 were coming over in a couple weeks, and I wanted to blow them away and show them something special, and I think we did all right. So, Diego, one last time, do us a favor and give us some shout-outs.
Okay, y'all ready? Here we go. Got to thank Belltown Motors for the weekly update. Of course, Waddell Communications for the Nostalgia Nugget. Flagman Graphics for the Popcorn Stat Chat. Glenn Bosch Racing for Did You Know? Of course, Critical Science for one of my favorites, the weekly Pick'ems. Riley Generators for the Pop Culture Minute. Thanks to Mid-State Site Development for What's on Tap. Year-long Busy Bees Learning Center. Thank you so much for Who Won the Week. Special thanks to Monaco Ford for the results ticker. Serve Pro for the chalkboard chatter. Special thanks to Seacon Grand Prix for firing up the hot seat. And of course, how could we not forget the great Bonssa Tufa? Thanks for joining us tonight, buddy.
Thanks for having me. Enjoy your winter, and we'll see you real soon.
Hell yeah. Special thanks to the Vault Productions and Sydney for this kick-ass studio. Last but not least, I know I say it every week, but I really mean it. We have a lot of fun doing this. Thank you for the great year. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for the live chat. You guys have been awesome. You make our job easy. So thanks a lot, members.
And I want to also say a huge shout out to Rob, Remy, Diego, and Sid for an awesome podcast all year long.
Can I get a hell
Appreciate
yeah?
you. All right, listen, don't forget, follow us on socials because we're still going to have content for you every day. And we will go over a lot more about a month from now for our December 17th Christmas special. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for your support. We'll see you then.